Children of the River Character Analysis Essay by Andrew Chmielewski, B2 and B4. Characters in a novel have an individual personality with specific qualities, traits, or characteristics that describe her. Through a character's words, actions, and thoughts, the author reveals these unique traits to the reader as the plot develops. Sundara, the main character in the novel Children of the River by Linda Crew, is a dynamic character that develops many traits as she adapts to her migration from Cambodia, where they are forced to flee because of the Khmer Rouge, which is taking over Cambodia. Through Sundara's caring nature, ability to take risks, and reflectiveness, she is able to change and adapt to their new culture and life in the United States of America. In the novel Children of the River by Linda Crew, the main character, Sundara, can be described as caring. One example from the text that shows Sundara is caring is here on page 5. For hours, it seemed, she had been picking her way among the people crammed together on the hot metal deck, trying to shield the baby from the blazing sun with her bleached-out parasol. This quote proves that Sundara is caring, because even in such tough circumstances on the boat, she was still willing to care for the baby's needs before hers. Another time when Sundara demonstrates that she is caring is when she thinks, worst of all, what if Jonathan was hurt? Now it's on page 151. This proves that she is caring because she cares about Jonathan and his safety. Finally, Sundara exhibits that she is caring when she thinks, has she ever told her sister how special she was? Oh, why did people have to be separated before they understood how much they meant to each other? That was on page 205. And that just proves she's caring because she loves her sister and she misses her, even though she has not seen her in 4 years, but she still really misses her. These three pieces of evidence prove that Sundara's actions, thoughts, and feelings demonstrate that she is a caring and compassionate character. Not only does Sundara demonstrate that she is caring and compassionate, she also demonstrates that she is a risk-taker. Sundara first shows she is a risk-taker when she does this on page 4. Sundara threw everything into the cart and plopped the toddler on the bag of rice. She seized the cart handle, and grandmother, in a daze, did the same. That was on page 4. This proves Sundara is a risk-taker because even though she only had a few minutes of warning, she quickly packed up her stuff to leave her country, even though it was a risky thing to do. Another example of her being a risk-taker is when she thinks, had she, Sundara Sovan, really accepted an invitation to go sailing with an American family without telling Soka? That was page 92, and this is definitely showing her that she's a risk-taker, because even though she's not allowed to date anyone, especially not Americans, she goes to Jonathan's house, and even that, she didn't even tell Soka she was going, because Soka wouldn't have let her. So this definitely would not have been allowed by Soka, which means she's a risk-taker. Lastly, Sundara demonstrates she's a risk-taker when she thinks she would have to go up there and see Jonathan for herself, on page 151. That proves she is a risk-taker because she goes to the hospital to see Jonathan, even though Soka has forbid her from seeing him anymore. To summarize, Sundara provides many examples throughout the novel of her resourcefulness and resilience in the face of challenges. Finally, Sundara is also a reflective person. An example of how this is true is when the teacher reads her poem for the class. The whole poem is very good and reflective, but this is a section of it. I believe it's from the very beginning of the poem, and it's very reflective. It says, we are lost, we are the lonely, so far from our beloved land, we are the children of the Mekong. That was on page 10. It shows that she is reflective because she remembers her life back in Cambodia and those who have died in the war. She also demonstrates her reflectiveness when she thinks, odd, but it made her think of Shem Ruin. Here was a boy as golden as Shemruin had been dark, yet something in the slow warmth of his smile was the same, and curiously familiar. That was on page 30. It shows she's reflective because she thinks of Shemruin and notices the odd similarities he shares with Jonathan, and this is reflective because she hasn't seen Shemruin in a while, but she still reflects on him. Lastly, she shows her reflectiveness when she says, Maori, I worry so much about little Maori. That was on page 143. That definitely proves she's reflective because she's thinking and worrying about her sister's safety. She wishes her sister could be with her, and she may feel guilty that she has escaped. but her sister has not, and that proves she is reflective. In conclusion, Sundara's thoughtful consideration of her own ideas, beliefs, and personal experiences shows the way in which she would be characterized as reflective. By the end of the novel Children of the River, the reader learns a great deal about the main character through her actions, thoughts, and words. As the plot develops, Sundara begins to adapt to her migration from Cambodia to America. Her caringness, willingness to take risks, and reflectiveness demonstrate Sundara's resilience in the face of adversity and challenges.